All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to whatever time it is to whoever's watching this. Thank you everyone who's here live with me. I know it's super early for the West Coast, but today our demo day is going to be filled with demos from students from the University of Massachusetts. And before we get into it, we hope that you guys had all learned from us because we learned a lot from you guys. And thank you for all of your participation, all of the comments and feedback you've given us. And I hope you were able to learn a lot and do a lot for your class, because I know the prof had a great time too. And I want to thank the prof as well for actually giving us a go for doing all of this projects with this class and whatnot. But without further ado, because I know I want to keep this a little bit shorter, I will hand it over to Albert and Amber, who will be our first demo.
Hi guys, my name is Amber and I'm a senior at University of Massachusetts, Boston.
Hi, I'm Albert Jackson, also a senior at the University of Massachusetts, Boston. And if you would give me a moment, I would like to share screen. All right, so the project we'll be doing today is our @Pass, which is a password manager. So Amber, would you like to start?
Yeah. So here is our team, which is 2 people. So basically we talked to ourselves that why don't we just use the prompts to remember our password? But we do this projects because we think that, for example, if the person have 2 to 3 computers at the same time, and at the same time they have different operating system, so it's just better for them to have somewhere to save the passwords. So whenever is needed, they would just pull out from their pocket and just type the password in.
Show of hands for the people here in the room. Who here has ever forgotten a password? All right, everyone who didn't raise your hand, you're lying. Okay. Forgetting a password sucks, okay? Keeping track of them is hard. Resetting them is a pain in the A when it happens. A lot of us who are bad at remembering passwords just reuse them across sites, which isn't very secure. Sometimes you share your keys with your friends. You can't really take that back, and that's annoying. For example, say you're in a relationship. You gave your significant other the Netflix password. Y'all broke up. She still has your Netflix. What are you gonna do about that? There's a lot of privacy concerns, and then even storing on things like Google or other password managers, privacy is a concern. You don't really know where your data is being tracked. So what can you do about that? Well, lucky for us, the app platform is actually pretty good for that sort of thing. So we proposed a password locker for storing passwords, creating passwords, keeping them secure, and then also sharing your passwords with @Pass users. That way you can take them back if you don't want them to have access to your data.
So we use app platform for our backend, and then Flutter and Dart. For the backend, we use the app platform end-to-end encryption safely to store the user login and password information. We also have a function where we can generate a password. It can give you choices, whatever you want. It can include letters and digits or even special characters. And this is just our further enhancement features, because due to the lack of team members, so we could not get this one already. But hopefully we can get this one in the future, just a better safe to access to your account.
As mentioned earlier, we'd also want to do password sharing so we can have a one-to-many mapping of passwords. The key benefit of that here will just be able to revoke passwords from users that you don't want to have your passwords anymore. And then also to not have the password shown on their end when you do actually grant them a key to whatever sites you're using. All right. Before we do that, let's see if this build ran. I think my screen was stuck at the onboarding phase, so let's see if this is nicer now. If not, I'll just have to talk for a minute and probably onboard another @sign for a minute. folks, what you're seeing in action is another example of Murphy's Law. All right. Cool. Okay, so I'll just take a minute on my end. So Amber, would you like to talk about things we did and what we might want to do differently?
Yes, throughout this project, I think I learned a lot. Like from my experience, I have never do any app development before. So for this project, I have the chance to study Flutter and Dart, and studying like how to handle with the package version is also a real lesson if you want to like involve into this industry. And we think that communication is also a key for like a better project, especially there's like 3 of us at the beginning, but whichever happened, yeah.
Yeah, there was one more of us. He vanished. We're not exactly sure what happened, though. I think we might have hallucinated him the entire time. Let's see. What else will we do differently? Not too much else here aside from the demo that, again, I'm having a little bit of trouble showing at the moment. Where's the device manager?
I have a question,
Would you hold this for a moment?
if you guys are okay.
Yeah, shoot.
So how did you guys implement the app platform? What did you do with the app protocol?
So for the main benefit using the app platform was that we could have our keys stored and encrypted somewhere. So the main part of the backend we used was the key value store that's included with the platform, which was very helpful and thankfully very easy to manage. Let's see, I would like to wipe data on this device. But yeah, didn't need too much more of the app platform for that. So the main thing we did was the storing the passwords. So the usual add, update, create, delete stuff. And then also the ability to share info from our secondary servers with other @ signs. Okay, does that show up for everyone? Awesome.
We can see it.
Great. So here's what our app looks like. Very basic. Basic functionality is we have these what I'm calling a pass tile, which stores information about a password. So if I want to type in something like let's see, I can type in the name of the domain I want to store things on. I can type in my username. I can store the password. And then I can just store the URL domain for the website I want to use. You hit that, it makes a request to the app sign through the app client manager, and it stores the key. So I actually need to fix the thing where it refreshes here, but if I go back and come through again, boom, we have a new thing. On hitting a key, it will open up the relevant page in the browser. One feature that I was trying to get working that I didn't get in time is the actual autofill capability for each website. That one is hard because it would require a bunch of platform specific code. So on the Android side, it needs to write a few Kotlin files for the operating system. On the iOS side, I have no idea because I don't do iOS. So that's one thing I'd have to put more time into just learning, since that would have to be platform independent instead of cross-platform as a feature. We have our contacts. As I mentioned, we do have a password generator. We can set the criteria as we'd like and generate whatever we need to, so that we can have secure and random passwords that we don't have to think about. And Amber, who implemented the QR page, can tell you a bit more about that. Like,
So this one, it just so your unique QR code, and actually you can like scan to our friends, like to like make friends with each other using the QR code. Yep. And that's it.
yep, that's about it.
Whoa, I'm happy you guys came back up. Oh my goodness. That is so cool.
As far as some code goes, I think the most interesting part for the app platform here is just how we encode the data, since I just encode this in JSON format. So what we basically did was we defined this class that just stores the 4 things we care about, just the username, password, et cetera, et cetera. And one of our constructors can read in from JSON, and the other one can parse it to JSON. You can just overload this function, and Dart will handle the rest of the JSON parsing. which I think is pretty interesting. Yeah, and then for the rest of that, we just, in the main class, after doing the onboarding, we create a call to a future. And once that's done, we just parse in all the tile data. We get it from the act client by getting all the keys and parsing them each. We construct a path tile object, and then we just populate our screen with it. So it's actually not super difficult. The app platform makes a lot of the fetching and getting pretty easy, which is great. So yeah. Okay. Last time, questions, comments, concerns.
I do actually have a question now. When you clicked on one of the tiles, right, it just takes you to the platform itself. So if I clicked on the Netflix tile, it takes me to Netflix. Am I able to just see the password rather than being taken directly to
yeah,
Netflix?
Totally forgot to put that one. Yes, on a long press, it'll just bring up the information.
Oh, yeah, this is cool. You guys gotta release this one.
Yep.
Oh
If
wow,
we get the autofill working, then sure.
great job, you guys.
All right, thank you.
Oh, there's another question before you guys disappear. How did you work together as a team and divide responsibilities?
Would you like to?
So we just like devices to work. I don't know, just randomly picking. Yep.
Yeah, I think that was kind of one of the things we would have done differently with communication and dividing up the responsibility, especially since we ended up as a two-man group rather than a three. So I think there were some things that we had expected that didn't get done, so then we had to kind of reshuffle the responsibilities. So kind of slow picking up in the beginning, but I think by the end we kind of just got together and just said, I would do this, you would do that, and just kind of made up the front end as you could. I think the main thing with doing things together is just dividing up the code in a digestible manner, which is why I tried to make sure the directories are separated out into screens, data, other main widgets, et cetera, et cetera. So that way everyone can work on things without having to step on each other's toes. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for coming back up on stage. Definitely worth it.
Thank you for having us.